Hey there, Kill Counts fans. I'm your host, James Powers, and tonight we're diving headfirst into a marathon of terror. 18 of the scariest horror movies ever made, back to back, and I'm going to try to make it through the night without losing my mind. Or my sleep. Horror films have a way of captivating audiences and evoking fear and thrill in a way that's hard to find elsewhere. They tap into our primal instincts, our deepest fears, and sometimes they even make us laugh, in a good way, I promise. Whether it's a creepy atmosphere or a terrifying villain, horror movies have a way of getting under our skin and staying there. So join me as we explore the dark side of cinema and see just how many jump scares this horror fan can handle. Let's get started. First up, we're stepping into the Overlook Hotel with Stanley Kubrick's masterpiece, The Shining. This film is notorious for its psychological horror, Jack Nicholson's descent into madness, and those creepy Grady twins. I mean, come on, red rum written in blood on the wall? That's enough to give anyone nightmares. And don't even get me started on that iconic shot of the elevator doors spewing a tidal wave of blood. Kubrick's use of long takes and unsettling imagery really gets under your skin. You're trapped in the Overlook Hotel right alongside Jack and his family. By the time Jack's chasing Danny through the snowy maze, you're practically yelling at the screen. The Shining is a masterclass in suspense, and it's a chilling way to kick off our marathon. Next up, we're venturing into the world of paranormal investigators Ed and Lorraine Warren with The Conjuring. This film is based on their real-life cases, which makes it even creepier. Seriously, the Warrens investigated some seriously messed up stuff. The film does a fantastic job of building tension slowly, starting with subtle events like pictures being crooked and ending with full-on demonic possession. And let's not forget Bathsheba, the creepy witch who haunts the house. Her contorted face and raspy voice are enough to give anyone nightmares. The Conjuring is one of those films that sticks with you long after the credits roll. It's a reminder that sometimes the scariest things are the ones that might actually be real. We're diving headfirst into the classics with The Exorcist, a film that terrified audiences upon its release and continues to hold up as one of the scariest movies ever made. The image of Regan McNeil's possessed body contorting and spewing obscenities is seared into the minds of horror fans everywhere. This film doesn't shy away from the disturbing, from the crucifix scene to the head-spinning, pea-soup vomiting moments that still make me gag a little. But beyond the shocking visuals, The Exorcist is a story about faith, doubt, and the battle between good and evil. It's a film that stays with you long after the credits roll, prompting questions about the nature of belief and the darkness that might lurk just beyond our understanding. Chapter 4. The Babadook, if it's in a word or it's in a look. Hold on to your hats, folks, because we're about to enter the world of The Babadook, a film that's as much about the horrors of grief and mental illness as it is about a creepy monster lurking in the shadows. The Babadook itself is a terrifying creation, all sharp edges and a long coat that seems to swallow everything around it. But what makes this film truly unsettling is the way it explores the breakdown of a mother struggling to cope with loss and the fear of her own sanity slipping away. The Babadook becomes a manifestation of her grief, a physical embodiment of her inner turmoil. It's a powerful and disturbing film that will stay with you long after the credits roll, a reminder that sometimes the scariest monsters are the ones we create ourselves. Chapter 5, Get Out, more than just a horror movie. We're taking a detour into the world of social commentary with Jordan Peele's Get Out, a film that expertly blends horror with sharp satire to create a truly unforgettable experience. On the surface, it's the story of Chris, a young black man meeting his white girlfriend's family for the first time, but things quickly take a sinister turn. What makes Get Out so effective is its exploration of racial tension and microaggressions, anxieties that are all too real for many people. The film doesn't shy away from uncomfortable truths, using horror as a lens to examine the insidious nature of racism in modern society. It's a film that will make you think as much as it makes you jump. A testament to the power of horror to tackle complex social issues in a way that's both entertaining and thought-provoking. Chapter 6. A Quiet Place. Silence never sounded so terrifying. Get ready to hold your breath as we enter the sound-sensitive world of A Quiet Place. This film takes a simple concept, creatures that hunt by sound, and turns it into a masterclass in suspense. The silence is deafening, every creak of a floorboard and rustle of leaves sending shivers down your spine. You find yourself holding your breath right alongside the characters, terrified of making a sound that could mean the difference between life and death. The film's sound design is incredible, immersing you in the terrifying reality of a world where silence is golden. And let's not forget the intense performances, particularly from Emily Blunt, as she navigates the challenges of motherhood in this terrifying new world. Chapter 7. Hereditary Family Trauma Elevated. Brace yourselves, folks, because Hereditary is not for the faint of heart. This film is a slow burn, a descent into madness and despair that will leave you feeling deeply disturbed. Toni Collette delivers a tour de force performance as Annie, a mother grappling with the aftermath of her own mother's death and the unraveling of her family. Hereditary is a film about legacy, about the sins of our parents that we inherit and the ways in which trauma can reverberate through generations. The film is full of unsettling imagery and disturbing themes, exploring the darkest corners of family dynamics and the things we pass down, both intentionally and unintentionally. It's a film that will stay with you long after the credits roll, a haunting meditation on grief, mental illness, and the terrifying power of family secrets. Chapter 8, Halloween, The Night He Came Home. We're taking it back to basics with John Carpenter's Halloween, the film that introduced the world to Michael Myers, the masked slasher who would become a horror icon. This film is a masterclass in atmosphere, with Carpenter's minimalist score and the quiet streets of Haddonfield, Illinois, creating a palpable sense of dread. You can't help but feel a sense of unease as Michael stalks his prey, his expressionless mask hiding any trace of humanity. Halloween is a reminder that sometimes the scariest things are the ones we can't understand, the ones that defy explanation. Michael Myers is the embodiment of pure evil, a force of nature that cannot be reasoned with or stopped. He is the bogeyman come to life, and he's coming for you. Chapter 9, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Leatherface and the Family Business. Hold on to your stomachs, folks, because The Texas Chainsaw Massacre is not for the squeamish. This film is a gritty, visceral experience that will leave you feeling like you need a shower. From the opening scenes of graveyards and decaying corpses, you know you're in for a wild ride. Leatherface, with his grotesque mask and chainsaw, is one of the most iconic slashers in horror history, a hulking figure of pure, primal terror. But the Sawyer family, with their cannibalistic tendencies and backwards insanity, are just as disturbing as their chainsaw-wielding brother. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre is a film that gets under your skin and stays there, a reminder that sometimes the scariest monsters are the ones that look the most human. Chapter 10. It Follows. You can run, but you can't hide. Get ready for a different kind of terror with It Follows, a film that takes the concept of a sexually transmitted curse and turns it into a nightmare. This film is all about paranoia, the constant fear that something is coming for you, no matter where you go or who you're with. The entity itself is a shapeshifter, taking on different forms to stalk its victims, which only adds to the sense of unease. You never know who to trust, who might be the monster in disguise. It Follows is a film that will stay with you long after the credits roll. A reminder that sometimes the scariest things are the ones we can't outrun, the ones that follow us into our nightmares. Chapter 11. The Ring 7 Days. Do you like scary movies? We're delving into the world of cursed videotapes with The Ring, a film that tapped into our fear of technology and the unknown. The premise is simple. Watch a specific videotape and you'll die in 7 days, but it's the execution that makes this film so effective. The grainy images of the cursed tape, the creepy well, and Samara crawling out of the television screen, it all adds up to a truly terrifying experience. The Ring plays on our deepest fears, the things that we can't explain and can't control. It's a reminder that sometimes the scariest things are the ones that seem the most ordinary, the ones that lurk just beneath the surface of our everyday lives. Chapter 12. Paranormal Activity Found Footage Frights. Get ready for some night vision chills with Paranormal Activity, a film that reignited the found footage genre and proved that sometimes the simplest scares are the most effective. The film follows a young couple who set up cameras in their home to document strange occurrences, and what they capture is truly terrifying. The film relies on subtle scares, things that go bump in the night and shadows moving in the periphery, to create a sense of unease that builds slowly but surely. By the time the demon reveals itself, you're already on the edge of your seat. Paranormal activity is a reminder that sometimes the scariest things are the ones that we can't see, the ones that lurk just beyond our perception. Chapter 13, Insidious the Further You Go. Hold on to your souls, folks, because we're venturing into the further with Insidious. This film takes the classic haunted house story and adds a terrifying twist, exploring the astral plane and the malevolent spirits that reside there. The film follows the Lambert family as they try to rescue their son Dalton, who has become trapped in a coma-like state after a terrifying encounter with the supernatural. But it's not just the ghosts that are scary and insidious. The film is full of creepy imagery, from the lipstick-faced demon to the bride in black, that will stay with you long after the credits roll. Insidious is a reminder that sometimes the scariest things are the ones that we don't understand, the ones that exist just beyond our realm of comprehension. It's a film that will make you think twice about venturing into the dark corners of your house or your mind. Chapter 14, Sinister Home Movies and Hidden Horrors. Get ready to be creeped out by home movies, folks, because that's the name of the game in Sinister. This film follows true crime writer Ellison Oswalt as he discovers a box of Super 8 films in the attic of his new home, only to find that they document a series of gruesome murders. As Ellison delves deeper into the case, he uncovers a sinister pattern, one that suggests a supernatural force is at work. The home movies themselves are creepy enough, with their grainy footage and disturbing content, but it's the entity known as Bughul that really sends shivers down the spine. This ancient pagan deity is all about corrupting children and using them to commit horrific acts, and his presence is felt throughout the film. Sinister is a film that will make you think twice about watching old home movies or moving into a new house with a dark past. Chapter 15, The Witch, a Puritan Nightmare. We're traveling back in time to 17th century New England with The Witch, a film that's as atmospheric as it is unsettling. The film follows a Puritan family who are banished from their plantation and forced to live on the edge of a dark and mysterious wood where they believe witchcraft is afoot. The Witch is a slow burn, building tension slowly as the family's paranoia and fear grow with each passing day. The film is beautifully shot with haunting imagery and a haunting score that perfectly captures the oppressive atmosphere of Puritan New England. But it's the film's ending that will really stay with you, a disturbing and ambiguous conclusion that leaves you questioning everything you thought you knew. Grab your night vision cameras and prepare to get lost in the woods with the Blair Witch Project. This found footage classic terrified audiences upon its release, blurring the lines between fiction and reality and sparking countless debates about whether the events depicted were real or not. The film follows 3 student filmmakers as they venture into the Black Hills Forest to make a documentary about the local legend of the Blair Witch, and what starts as a simple project quickly spirals into a terrifying nightmare. The Blair Witch Project is a masterclass in suspense, using shaky camera work, natural lighting, and the isolation of the woods to create a palpable sense of dread. It's a film that reminds us that sometimes the scariest things are the ones that we can't see, the ones that lurk just beyond the reach of our flashlight beams. Get ready for a psychological thriller that will get under your skin with Rosemary's Baby. Mia Farrow delivers a haunting performance as Rosemary Woodhouse, a young woman who becomes pregnant after a strange encounter with her neighbors, only to suspect that they have sinister intentions for her unborn child. As Rosemary's pregnancy progresses, she becomes increasingly isolated and paranoid, convinced that something is terribly wrong. The film is a masterclass in suspense, building tension slowly and steadily as Rosemary's sanity unravels. The ending is one of the most iconic in horror history, a chilling and unforgettable conclusion that will leave you questioning everything. Rosemary's Baby is a film that explores the fears of pregnancy and motherhood, the anxieties of losing control of your body and your mind. It's a film that stays with you long after the credits roll, a haunting reminder that sometimes the scariest monsters are the ones we trust the most. We're ending our marathon with a descent into darkness, with The Descent. This film follows a group of friends who go on a caving expedition that goes horribly wrong when they become trapped underground with a pack of terrifying creatures. The Descent is a claustrophobic nightmare with tight spaces, pitch-black darkness, and the constant threat of being hunted by something unseen. The creatures themselves are terrifying, with their pale, hairless bodies and razor-sharp teeth. But what makes The Descent truly effective is its exploration of female friendship and the ways in which trauma can bond us together. These women are forced to confront their fears and fight for their lives, and they do it together. It's a fitting end to our marathon of terror, a reminder that even in the darkest of times, hope and resilience can prevail. So there you have it, Kill Counts fans. 18 of the scariest horror movies ever made, and somehow I managed to make it through the night, barely. I'm not going to lie, some of those films really got under my skin, but that's the beauty of horror, isn't it? It's a genre that can tap into our deepest fears and anxieties, but it can also be cathartic, a way to confront our demons and emerge stronger on the other side. If you've made it this far, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this terrifying journey into the heart of horror. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to go check under the bed and in the closet just to be safe. Share your own favorite horror films in the comments below, and be sure to check out our other horror-related videos. Don't forget to subscribe for more content, and I'll catch you in the next video. Stay spooky!